Hi guys. So Tesla is going nuts. In 1 week, 6 July, we went to $1,400 today, or yesterday. Today it's now 1,400. Pretty much the same, and that's a market cap of 250 billion. If you plot that out on the chart, we are here, and we are right now at 200% overvaluation compared to the trend line, 220%. The trend line is a red line here, the logarithmic regression, and it currently stands at 120 billion. So that's 220% of the trend line that we are. Welcome here, Papa. We have a little girl here who wants to join the session. So, this means we are in serious overvaluation. If you look here at the previous bubble, we went to a peak of 260% on the 4th of March 2014. 260%. But that was right here. The price had gone up from, well, a market cap here we see of about 3 billion or so. It went to about 30 billion, so times 10 in only half a year time or so. But then it took a couple more months. He had a correction, and then a couple months later we went even higher. If we go back to those prices, and actually a couple months later we went even higher than that. So if history repeats, which is the most likely, we will see we are due for a correction here, but in fiat terms, we will likely go higher over the next half year, to a year. And we will likely go sideways after that for a couple of years. Actually, I see a couple of years. 5 years we went sideways. And once we reached this here from 2013, we went to 2014, and then basically went sideways till 2019, 5 years. So that's the most probable, but it is not a certainty. I mean, there's a small chance it goes a lot higher, a small chance it goes a lot lower. I mean, this does not have to repeat, it's just the most probable. But one thing that's an anomaly is that revenues actually have grown faster than price or than market cap of the company. Now, I have not done any comparisons with other companies, whether this is normal or not. But it's certainly an assurance. Like, that's the most spectacular thing about Tesla is the growth in the revenues is spectacular. It went from 2012 of revenues of 50 billion here. Revenues as not profits here at 30 million, 30 million basically revenues, and this is quarterly, to quarter revenues of 6 billion in 10 years or 8 years. 30 million, 300 million, 3 billion, 6 billion. So that's a 200-fold in the revenues. It's spectacular. And the price went from $10, 30, 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, $30 in this area to currently $1,000. That's also 200, 300 folding, 400 folding. But yeah, interesting. Let's take a look at what happened here in the previous bubble. Well, no, I think what's the right strategy to trade this? I have about 30%, 25 to 30% exposure to Tesla still. And I think a good approach is to, instead of selling, to work with stop losses. I never did this before, but I think that's worth a try. Because if you do the calculation, we're at 220% overvaluation. If history repeats, we go to 260% overvaluation. What does that give us? Well, that gives us not the current 250 billion, but that gives us about 300 billion. That will be the peak if it happens now. But if it happens in half a year, of course, the trend line continues to go up. Then it will not be 300 billion, it will be 350 billion or so. Uh, so, 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 um, uh, 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 if history repeats, that's what happens, and that's the most probable. Huh? So that's what we're trying to play. Instead of selling for current price, it's possible to sell for a price that's 20 to 30 to 40% higher, 10 to 30% higher than currently. So not $1,400, but $1,600, $1,700, $1,800, maybe even $1,900 is possible that you can catch that over the next few days or over the next half year. And so if I work with stop losses, I have a chance to get that. If I don't work stop losses and I sell at current price, there is no chance that I will get that. The risk, of course, is that the stop losses don't execute properly. That's always a risk, of course. For example, right now I have stop losses set at $1,300, for example. Let's say it triggers and it collapses to $1,300, but it goes so fast that it doesn't get executed at 1,300. Only get executed. I only catch a price of 1,200, or even worse, the exchange just doesn't execute it at all, and I wake up the next day and the price is already at 900. Like that can all happen when you depend on the exchange to execute your orders with some kind of smart contract. So yeah, but I think it's worth a try, because what I don't sense yet in Tesla is cockiness, yes, but euphoria, not yet. Like I don't see the mass media all talking about how great of an investment Tesla is, but I have actually not done my research there. I should check that out. What's the? Well, let's do it together. Let's check the news on Tesla. But let's just go to the main page of, for example, Yahoo Finance. What are they talking about? They should certainly talk about Tesla. But you want to see it basically in the mass media, not in the financial media. Huh? Let's take a look at Yahoo. Virus fears. Business talks about Neo. So this is something also interesting. You see, actually, as part of the bubble, is that other companies and even crappy offerings also get pumped. And Neo, but the other one is the Nikolai is just the craziest story. And I think that could be a very interesting short if you're interested to short. Then yeah, instead of shorting Tesla, I think shorting the weak offerings that actually have a very small chance to actually become a successful company, like Neo or Nikolai. Then Joy, Nena. She's throwing things over the balcony again. Um, that might be interesting, but clearly that's a symptom of a bubble, is that all kind of weak offerings get pumped a lot. We have that clearly in the EV sector now also. But where is Tesla? No mention even. Huh? Like that's not. Nicola is falling. Okay, that's good. But see, this is not euphoria. This is Yahoo Finance. This should be like the top. A bubble, a peak of a bubble is characterized by a lot of praise for the stock, and that's not here yet. In the broad media, even in the financial media, it's not here yet. That's strange. What else? Let's look at CNN here. We're gonna have to. If you have to look for it, then it's certainly not the case. Like I can't see anything about Tesla here. Do you have a financial section, business? Should be on the main page, but no. Business. Hmm. There's nothing mentioned about Tesla. Like, so strange. Yeah, so that's just to show that selling at current price, I don't think it's wise. You really want to see euphoria here. Are investing, I don't know, our stocks. Let's see what they say. Huh? Wall Street bets. Deutsche Bank, Uber, JP Morgan, Energy, Apple. No mention of Tesla. The only thing you see about Tesla is like, why are you holding? Huh? That's not the top of a bubble, huh? That people are questioning whether you should be holding or not. All right, let's see at stocks. Our stocks. So our stocks, where is Tesla? Ah, warning to buy Tesla is also not the peak of a top. It is mentioned, but with caution. Huh? That means, when there's caution in the air, it means the bubble and the bull market is not finished. That's not euphoria. Hmm? Yeah. Wall Street bets. What is this? I don't frequent these, but something about a Tesla competitor, some meme. No, what else is there for media? That's not a news site. Is there no news site for Google? Huh? Okay, so yeah, I think I made my point. Huh? No, this is not a sell yet. Even though we have reached serious overvaluation, we're not there yet. Yeah, but of course it's dangerous. But it's a different bubble than a crypto bubble. Like a crypto bubble, you reach the top, then you do go to a bear market, and prices will be cut by 10 and always lower and lower, and so to miss that top is one thing, but not to sell once it's clear the top it was in is a very big mistake because you're gonna end up 90%. Losing 90%. That's not the case with Tesla. The way Tesla forms is flatline, bubble, flatline, flatline, bubble. And so there is no rush to sell because it's you basically go from one plateau to the next plateau to the next plateau. We will be going to the next plateau now. This is not going to collapse because it's backed by strong evidence that there is value there and that in the long term actually it will go even higher, because there is backed by strong growth in adoption. That's the problem with crypto, that it's not there yet, and so that makes it very risky to invest in, and very difficult for people to value it correctly, and therefore you have a serious corrections that with lots of deflation in price. That's not the case in Tesla. So you shouldn't be rushing to sell. You should really like have a lot of indicators that okay, we're now at like peak valuation, and there's like if there is anything left, it's very little. We're not there yet. There's still too much caution in the air. Um, let's look at Twitter. It's my Twitter, of course. Huh? But yeah, I mean, I'm interested in Tesla. I have people that I follow about Tesla. What's being posted? I'm sorry, but Tesla has been way nicer to me than Bitcoin. Yes, okay. What else? Tesla trading at 1,400, having gained more than the entire 420 buyout price in the past week. Buyout price, yeah. As a shareholder and Tesla supporter, I'm so glad Elon didn't take it private. Yeah. Okay. Larry Ellison is a genius entrepreneur who became a billionaire. Was it with Cisco? I'm not sure. But he also invested big in Tesla. Oh no, Oracle. Hmm. I think, yeah, a 1 billion stake, huh? What else do we have? Tesla. Yeah. Let's look at the Tesla also because I do follow a Tesla investor thread and that is indeed that should be at least that should be clearly euphoric, of course. They should be euphoric here. If they are not euphoric here, then that's not a good sign. If they are euphoric here, that means okay, we could be at a peak. Actually, they should be euphoric on all the other places too. But let's see here. A bullish price target, okay, typical for a top is that they expect even higher prices, yeah. Well, also everybody talks about price instead of about the actual sales or actual adoption, huh? That's the case here, huh? All these posts are about the price, huh? A price post, a price post. But then this is not a price post, another price post, huh? Another price post. This is about expansion, performance of vehicles, production, expansion, price post, production expansion. Yeah. So it's not all price posts and it's not like euphoric. They are very happy, that's clear. But euphoric, no, not yet. Let's look at the daily investor thread as daily investor discussion. Yes, people are still buying. That's really what surprises me in the Tesla community. These guys that have been following it for years and years, they're still buying at current prices and have been buying a lot cheaper too. That just blows my mind. I don't think that's a good investment strategy. But that's that's strange because you will not see that, for example, in crypto when you're at the peak of the bubble, the ones that are sitting in already for a while, they are not buying. The ones that are buying is the newcomers. It is the masses. They come in and buy, and that's the peak, not the old timers that buying. That's actually not a sign of a peak. And the masses won't come if the mass media is not really already talking about how amazing an investment Tesla has been, and that's missing right now. So what's missing here is that the masses have not entered yet en masse to buy this stock. Yeah. So that's my opinion. Yeah. So I think it's smart to work with a stop loss here if you have Tesla shares. Just make ladders, and move them up as price goes up. And then when it starts to collapse, you will get liquidated automatically at a higher price than if you would decide to sell at current market price, probably. And so that's my strategy. I hope you enjoyed the video. This sheet is shared on Google Sheets. I will post the link below also. Um, then you can study it yourself. Have a great day.